It's a different look to college football now, name, image, and likeness, and most importantly, the transfer portal. From your perspective, how much has the transfer portal changed college football and college sports as a whole?
Obviously, it's had a huge impact on what we're doing in college football right now, and it's you have a choice as a head football coach and a staff whether you're going. And I look at it this way: with my short time pro ball, you really need to have a college personnel staff, which is your high school recruiters, and you need to have a pro personnel staff, which equates to recruiting the transfer portal, because you have to check the transfer portal every day. And the thing about the transfer portal, if you wait until a name shows on the portal, you're way behind. It's over. Because most of the ones that are players already have in mind what they want to do before they go into the portal. That's why you see so many teams that are in the portal that never get recruited. They get left in the portal with nowhere to go.
I think I saw something on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it now earlier this week. In basketball, I think 45% of the players that were in the portal are not going to play college basketball next year.
It does not surprise me at all. And as I say, if you don't have a destination that's committed to you at some point, then you, or at least some options out there, then you're probably better off staying where you are.
From a coach's perspective, though, do you feel like you're having to recruit your players and your student athletes every single year now?
It depends on where you are. If you're at Alabama and Georgia and some of those places, their competition is so great that they lose players, but at the same time, they re-sign players that fill in and fill those needs right away, because competition every day at those places is unbelievable.
Bring JR in here for this from a player perspective. JR, the transfer portal, just your thoughts and how it's changed the game from how a player would view things.
It's weird because I see it from both sides. I see the good and the bad in it, as far as, you don't want to give kids the thought of, if you're not happy where you are just because you're not, playing ahead of somebody else, even though that person might even be better than you, if you're not happy in your situation, that you can just quit and go. But also on the other side of that, if a person, feels like they are wanting a better opportunity and everything, I don't see anything wrong with that. But it does hurt the kid, like Coach was saying, like, if you don't have any place that wants you, it's not going to do you any good, because you're just going to go to the same place and be in the same situation.
One quick thing for Coach Collins before we let the transfer portal go. I've had a lot of basketball coaches tell me that whereas there are a lot of things about the transfer portal they do not like, under the previous rules, to rebuild your program, let's say you were Clemson or somebody else way behind the heavyweights in the ACC. If you didn't have enough talent, you knew those high school freshmen you were signing were not as good as the high school freshmen or college freshmen that Duke and Carolina were signing. One thing that the transfer portal has allowed is quicker turnarounds, at least in a sport that has 13 scholarship players. You don't have to say, well, maybe in 3 years we'll be good, with the way you often did in basketball. Now, obviously, football is like steering a monster compared to the 13 scholarship sport like men's basketball. But what do you think is the bottom line there?
Well, I think what you're saying is absolutely true. But at the same time, you look at Alabama. They signed the running back at Jamar Gibbs at Georgia Tech last year to supplement what they're doing there. So I don't think it's any different than basketball, especially when you're recruiting at a high level. There's going to be times you miss on high school players, and then you dip into the portal at that time to supplement your recruiting out of the high schools, and you build your base back up. That's just like unfortunately for North Carolina, they lost heavily in the secondary. Well, they went out and they went to the portal and they signed kids out of the portal. And those kids that have come in will help them in the back end this year.